Ooh. Edit privacy.
You live?
Yes, sir. You back? I ain't got no POP hold it down today, right?
POP hold it down. Hold it down.
Know what happened last time he was in here, you know what I mean? Somebody, be like that sometimes, man. All right, but yeah, we good. Let me go ahead.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, let me go ahead.
Fuck is my phone at?
Get this intro music going. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, get your phone. Niggas. While we wait.
Tanner.
Welcome to Detox Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. T. As you see with me, I have a special guest today, Mr. De Niro, aka Detour. He is the host
only
of
baby.
One
the
of
only Detour.
The Game 7 podcast. Today, I feel like is the perfect day for me. Everybody saw part 1 of Help Me, Men's Mental Health. And after the show, people, of course, I'll talk about the show with different people. And D, you're one of the people I talked to.
Right.
And we had a conversation and you brought up some things that I never really took the time to process. And one thing that I realized is that I am constantly pushing my own thoughts, my own problems, my own mental things to the side for everybody else. I want to see everybody else happy. I could deal with mines, I could handle mines, but in reality, I'm not lying. I can't. And it really hit a breaking point after I did the show at Banks, and then I spoke with you because it made me really look at myself. Right. And on Monday, it brought me to honestly a point where I was in tears because I felt like I never had a chance to really talk about things ever. Right. It's like you always get told, "Oh, it's a safe place," but if you don't really feel safe, how can you express? How can you talk? And it's crazy because the moment I put religion, I put the church. Oh man, red flag warnings everywhere. I don't know if you should talk about. Oh man, you just gonna. Why can't I if it's my feelings? Right. If it's something that's just stopping me from mentally growing, if it's stopping me from being a better man, and if it's stopping me from doing what I need to do in life, why can't I talk about it? Why can't I feel the way I feel?
Why would you? It's your podcast.
Exactly. And it's not even on the podcast level. See, because the crazy thing is it goes beyond podcast. This is life. I'm not supposed to talk about this in life. And, I got you here, honestly, because I knew if it was just me by myself, I didn't want to turn into where my thoughts ran together and it turned into a rant instead of being like a civilized, layer by layer peel, Okay. I didn't want it to be a Kanye rant. And I'm like, oh, and this. And then I think about something and go back to it. So that's why I said, I wanted you here.
Yeah, this is you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like the first thing that we touched on when you hit me was like, about the show. And I was just trying to tell you that I don't know you. I don't know your life. I don't know what's going behind the scenes. And that's normal shit for like social media and shit like that. But when I watch the podcast, what I walk away from is that's cool to have different opinions. It's cool to do it. But if you're doing an interview style podcast, which is what I got from the last one, like it's a lot of you guiding and asking the questions when you're dealing with men's mental health. And that was great if that was to push his book. And there's no shade to nobody. It's just the facts. Like if it's to push his book, if that's your objective is to have these people be seen, or to put them in a spot where they are to be heard, then great. But if we're talking about a detox podcast, or if you're doing a podcast and you're not giving your opinion and talking your shit as a man, mental health and the rest of that, and to bring it to the forefront, then, or any of them subjects, but just in that case, then what the fuck is the point of doing it? So like when we do our podcast, I'm always very vocal, so much so to a point where I'll be like, I don't even want to talk about that no more, because I know they tired of hearing me say the shit, and I don't really got nothing else new to say about in regards to that topic, depending on what topic it is. And sometimes I even get so frustrated because it's like maybe it's falling on deaf ears. But I created the platform in a podcast for those moments, whether that be police brutality, mental health, gold diggers, whatever the reason is.
Your favorite subject.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not though. But we live in a society where it's so prominent. That's the problem with the podcast. Like, it's so the reason why we take days or weeks off is because a lot of the culture is stuck in that moment. And it sucks that you have to address it because it's right there. And if I'm being honest, that's what the people want to see. It's the same as music, right? So like, I've been doing music for a long time, and I've done music at a high enough level that if I started to name drop and I started to run down credentials, then people would be like, oh, that's him, or that's what you do, or whatever. But if I don't say none of that, it looks as though I'm an up and coming artist, or I'm a nigga trying to make it in this game. If you don't know the contracts, if you don't know the people I work with. But the music that I make, if I decide to talk on police brutality or some real shit, I understand that I'm making it in a society that want to hear the baby rap about, bitch with good pussy and do this dance. And I know that. So it's the same with kind of like a podcast. Like, you got to take it with a grain of salt in the things that you do. Fact of the matter is, if you are about some shit, you're going to have a hard time moving anything. But you still got to speak your truth, if that's your truth. Or fuck it and cater to the public and create a show that's controversial, or create music or say shit that's going to get you ratings and everything else out there. But for your podcast in particular, it just is one of them things where I'm like, are you interviewing them, or are you going to talk your shit?
And honestly, with that specific show, it was a point to kind of push his book, and because I wanted to kind of take a back seat.
Right.
But afterwards, and like I said, after talking to you, talking with my girl, talking with some other people, I was like, maybe I should have been a little more vocal. Maybe it's some things that I should have talked about. And it's crazy that you brought a podcast, because I will say this. I know Santana knows, because both of you guys hit me at different times and asked what was going on. But I took a break from doing the show. I did. And I'm not going to lie, because I was discouraged for a while. And I know it's easy for people to say, oh, you can't let it discourage, But it's like when you have so many people around you, or that you think is around you. And this is one of the topics I want to touch on today. I call it fake friends, fake support, fake love, however you want to take it. It's hard. It's hard when you try to do something and the main people you would expect to be there aren't. Like, and that's not taken away from the people who watch the show every week. I love you. Thank you for the support. My girl definitely watches it, gives me great feedback. Game 7 is always on it. My friend Aubrey. I have a very select group of people who are constantly on the show, constantly talking to me, constantly talking about it. But it's like there's these other people who got my numbers, who will hit me on any regular day, like, oh, what's up? But it's like when I first brought out, oh, I'm doing a relationship podcast. It's like, oh, that's dope, that's a great idea, woo woo woo. But you put up a post and you said you hit the nail on the head when you say you support. But I see the numbers. I see the views. I see my subscribers.
Right.
And it's like, so for me, honestly, I was
you're not wrong. What I'm gonna say is you're not wrong. Here's the thing, and this is where the normal shit comes in, because I had no idea when you asked me to do it, and you normally do yours like after ours and a set time and stuff. It was like, oh, okay, I don't know what you're coming with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the reasoning behind it. I don't know the logic or the thinking or what you're going and doing. But the shit that you just touched on, that's a fact in a lot of cases. As somebody that sits back, and most of what I do is reaction based, support based. So if the people that you would hold down or the people that you rock with and fuck with are the last people to purchase some shit, to watch some shit, to stream some shit, to congratulate you, to pat you on the back, you gonna notice it. And a lot of people act like, oh, you know, you gonna notice it. Like, yo, why is this motherfucker over here telling me this shit? And you who benefits off of it, or you that's close to me, I see every day. Like, be honest. Like, you be like, yo, get the fuck out of my inbox sharing this shit.
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of my. You really sharing this shit right now? Do you know what I do for a living? Have you shared my shit? Are you really sending me this right now? And you develop that jadedness over time, and it develops, you know, it goes back to that part where people say, oh, you changed. No, I didn't. I just know you don't really fuck with me the way that you think you fuck with me. It takes a second to really fuck with me on a level that I just expect the people. Like, most of this shit is free. It's a stream. It's a shit.
And this crazy part is, it's not only that it's free, it's that you do it for the people you don't know so easily every day.
Right. Unconsciously, you give that love, you give that support, you give that argument, you give that comment, you give that share, you give that view. You do all of this throughout your day-to-day 24-hour period of time. I'm asking you for a little bit of time throughout your whole week.
Just an hour. Because for me, it's just 1 hour.
Just turn this shit on. You don't even gotta watch it. Just give it a view.
Let it play in the background.
Sure, somebody else that don't know me, you know. But the thing that really kills you is after they don't do it, the private conversations of, oh, I'm proud of you, and oh, I see what you. Fuck out of here.
It's like, you can't love me publicly, you can't support me publicly. I don't want it in private.
Yeah, and it sucks to be that way, because then the rebuttal to that is often, oh, you care about that social media shit. No, I don't. This is real life. I get paid off of this. I eat off of this. I feed my family off of it. My success is based off the same thing the baby and Meg the Stallion shit is based off of. If you don't support me, if you're not there, whether that's just the free shit, the subtle shit, the hey, how you doing, and keep it moving, or whatever, especially when I see you giving it, it's like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? And it's not asking you for much, but yeah, you watch on a day-to-day basis, and people think that you're supposed to give them this. So my brother said a quote a long time ago. He does spoken word. Dwayne Adams, he says, I love you unconditionally, under one condition, that you love me the same. And when he said it, I said, because that's how people absolutely view you. It's so complicated. I love you unconditionally, but then I'm gonna place a condition on that, and that's that you love me the same. So I'm expected also to give you this love and support when you need me to support your business or your bills or something when you hit me up, but you didn't support me. Now I have a dilemma on my hands, because now it's all fake love. It's all fake love. It's fake love from you. It's fake love from me. You place the stipulation on me. I place a stipulation on you. Do I love you unconditionally? Am I rocking with you for real? Am I loyal? Because I say it all the time in my shit. Loyalty is when shit ain't all good. It's easy to be loyal when shit is good.
Oh, yeah.
You place me in a complicated situation because I have to choose between being the man that I am and that's loyal, and saying, nah, I saw you and you didn't really fuck with me.
Crazy. And I'm glad you brought up loyalty, because another thing that's like really been, because everyone knows that my life changed dramatically over the past year. You know, fuck COVID, I got a kid now. Like, so for me, I have lost friends. No, fuck that. I've lost friends, and I lost a brother over, I couldn't even tell you.
I've been there.
But for me, and here's why I wanted to do the show. Here's why, and I'd explain to my girl. For me, for example, you do music, you put all yours in the music. You got people like Ryan that writes books. He put all his in a book.
Right. I'm
putting all mine in the show. So for me, this is me putting out my music. This is me putting out my book. So I told her, I've addressed it. I've addressed the person. but for some reason, it's still here. So I'm gonna say the shit out loud one more time, and then I'm gonna move on. So for me,
no, listen, and that's the thing is, like I said, I move that same way. Like for me,
no, I know, but hold on. Let me get this off while it's in my head.
Go ahead.
So for me, everybody who knows me knows that I've had one goal in life. My only goal was to, while I was out in the streets, stay out the way, find my significant other, build my family, get the fuck in the house, stay out the streets. For me, that happened. So the people who knew me the best were supposed to be the ones who rocked with me through it. But while I'm at the height here, and I'm like trying to celebrate, I got folks hating, walking away. What the fuck for? I have been there for you through everything.
You know why?
But see, my thing is, hold on. Let me finish. Here's what really bothers me. Anybody who really knows T will tell you I am the most loyal. I'm there for everything. I don't give a damn if you throw a party and it's just you and me.
That doesn't matter.
But I know it doesn't. But my thing is this. But hold on, let me cut deeper. It's not just about the loyal support I show you. We done been in some situations where, nigga, I'm here.
That doesn't matter.
But that's it. To me, it did.
Right.
And that's why I said I wanted to say this one more time.
That's fine. That's fine. And I hear you. I understand the purpose of it because similar to you, I've told one person, I break down all the time. I broke down the other night. You see shit and you're triggered. As a man, mental health is completely slept on. They would never know. I could sit here on the podcast with you smiling in my big ass crib, my nice car.
Get off the show and this.
I had one goal, similar to you. I had one goal in life. And if you know me, like I say, I always say, I wear my homie shit. I come on there. I don't flex nothing. You've never seen me with jewelry. You've never seen me throwing shit in nobody's face. And I'm the first nigga to help you if and when I can, however that is. I'm going to share your shit. I'm going to post your shit. I'm going to be there. I'm going to push you on the sides. I'm going to push you in public. That shit don't matter. And when you break down, you realize quickly how much it doesn't matter. Again, Santana's wife posted today, maybe this is the test, like life, maybe this is like the test or something along them lines. And I was like, it gotta be. I truly believe that. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I had one goal. My goal in life was to be a good father. That was it. That was it. I have never in my life set out to be rich, set out to be famous, set out to be better than nobody. Nobody ever can prove or show otherwise when I say, hey, fuck you, I'm doing this. I ain't never been that dude. Be a father, be present, be in my kids' life, give them the shit that I did not have, whether that's presents or presents. That's it. You show me a motherfucker that told me I said, fuck you, and I wasn't there, I'll show you a motherfucker with some text messages, emails, calls, or whatever that legitimately took my kindness for weakness. And I don't pat myself on the back, but I say all that to say we're in a society where you have to be like, fuck you for your own peace. Because what you give, they not giving back. They don't give a fuck. The reason behind that is they want you at the bottom with them. They want you to suffer like they suffer. They want you to bend when they bend. They want you to slouch when they slouch. They don't want you to do shit that ain't on their level. Whole time you trying to go to another level, or your priorities are just different. Fam, I don't want to be in the streets with you. That's not the goal. I got a line I said today was like, it's only cool to say you broke or you was broke or broken after you've overcome that. It's not cool in the moment. It's never cool. You can never tell nobody I'm down. I've been wearing the same jeans for 3 weeks, or I'm broke. I don't know when I'm gonna pay my bills, or mentally I'm broken. The only time it's ever cool to say these things and admit it is after you've overcome it and when nobody there. That's the only time. When you start to rap or you start to get on the podcast, you start to get to motivational speaking and get online or Facebook and everything else, and you like, yo, A year ago, I had some hard times. Look at me now. I got this house I done overcame, and I done fought these demons. And people are like, go ahead. And then they hit you like, if you need me, I'm here. And you be like, no, the fuck you ain't. I know because I screamed this shit in every way that I could, and you didn't give a fuck.
My mom told me some shit that I'm like, I really didn't think of until she said it. And she said, I'm not going to get the following I deserve. I'm not going to get that recognition until it falls in, until the white people fall in love with it. She told me that I won't. I know.
It's like Sable said. Truth be told, and Sable said it. The people that support you are going to be the people that don't know you, and it's wild because they'll support this. They'll support these celebrities that buy the album, that do all of these things, and they know, fam, when you needed me, I gave you my last $5 fucking dollars. Whatever I had, I gave you. Whatever I have to give is yours. You know this. But you would rather get in your car and you'll bump this, or you listen to this, or you YouTube this, or you'll share this all day frivolously, carelessly online. You'll buy the little Gucci and everything else to impress them people that don't give a fuck about you and won't be there. And the whole time hit me after you've made that little stupid ass Gucci purchase and want me to save you while ignoring what the fuck I need. Fuck me, right? But that's the thing, is like people, like the people, I got a shit and I keep it on my Facebook and my Instagram. It says, do not cry for me, or do not show up at my fucking funeral if you wasn't there for me. I mean that shit.
No, you say it all the time.
I say it all the time, and people think I'm playing. Fam, I swear to God, if y'all, I swear on everything, if y'all let people that ain't actively on my friends list, it sounds petty, y'all see around me all the time, y'all see me talking about the rest of that, into my funeral, I'm coming down swinging on everybody that's ghost, bro. I swear to God, y'all haunted from that point on. Fuck hearing about me later. Fuck that flowers when you dead, but no soup while you sick shit. I don't do that, because I've given you every opportunity as somebody that's alive to give me that support. And anyway, I'm not mad at the private conversations that we have, but I also see, like you said, everything that goes on from purchases to music streams, I own that. I have access to it. I see it. And then the things that you do publicly, I see them. If I care about you, I see them. I see them. I know where this is going. I know how this is moving. I know everything down to the region and shit that is sold and streamed and everything. I know it. Everything that I do, I own. What the fuck you mean you support me and fuck with me? And if I'm trash or some shit like that and I'm just not the dude to support, say that too. Tell me how I can get better.
No, so I'm saying, I would rather, honestly, on some real shit, I would rather people at least, like you said, watch. Because guess what? I may not be Joe Budden. I may not be whoever else, but it's like, listen and say, hey, look, this is what you do. Here's an idea. Won't you try this? Hell, if it's something that don't pertain to you directly, but you know somebody that it might pertain to, tell them about it.
So listen, let me tell you a couple things. One, that means that they watched Joe Budden to even form that opinion.
Exactly.
Two, that means that they sat back, they shared that information about Joe Budden, which is essentially promo. But they'll turn around and say that they don't fuck with dude X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth, and we need better content, and this dude's lame, only to turn around and not give you that like and that view when you're the change. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Most people say hip hop. Most people say hip hop is dead, or we need real rap. And Lil Nas X kissed this dude, and Nicki Minaj is this, and then you turn around and you give them that positive influence for them to be like, that shit boring. All right. So you really do like that shit, man? Just say that. Just say it.
Here's the shit. Like, and this really hit me. I'll never forget when I first talked about doing the show. I had people literally laugh, like, you? What you mean me? I was the joke of the family group chat. All the laughter in the world.
At least you got a family group chat. My bad. Keep going. Keep going.
I mean, like that
Keep
for
going.
me. My thing is like
I'm probably the joke of the family group chat. I'm not in it though.
I mean,
Go ahead.
for me is like that hurt only because of the aspect of like this is something that I don't. Number one, I don't do much involve my family in. Period. I don't because my family knows who I was. But the thing I hate is that my family forgets that I grown the fuck up. I'm not the same little Terrence, who was running around acting ass. And it's hard for them, and I'm in their defense, maybe. It might be hard for them to see me as the man I am now for whatever reason.
Right.
But if I'm coming to you on some gross shit and you take it as a joke, you try to turn it into a joke.
Right.
Like what? But you get mad if I don't support you? Come on now. Like, come on, fam. You family.
Listen, like I said, I'm
like,
sure. I'm sure in my family group chat, I done changed up. I'm lame. I'm this. I'm all kind of things because I'm never around. And again, if anybody that knows me, I ain't shy about this shit. Like I said, it's funny. It's funny how people, just to go back to what I said, they classify change or your status, your lane, you this, you that, whatever. Right? Cool. All right. Maybe. I had a dude tell me recently I'm suburban. Cool. Ain't that the goal? This is the thing that confuses me. Is the goal not to get better? I'm from Chicago Projects. I'm from the South Side. Anybody that knows me knows it was South Side. It was the hundreds. It was the low end. It was the rest of that. But I don't move like them. So because I don't move in that manner, I'm lame. Ain't the goal to get out? Ain't the goal to get money? Oh, no. The goal is for you to get
stay
money.
Where we are.
And we're supposed to stay where you at. Keep it real.
Yeah.
You're supposed to keep it real. You're supposed to be like, nah, fuck all that. Like, that's not my goal. That was never my goal. So, when you sit back and you see people kind of like what Sable said, it's like they want you to stay where they at. They want you to do what they doing. And, again, the laughter and the ridicule and stuff for that, oh, I know you were like that. Okay, cool. That's cool. What's that have to do with where I'm going and what I'm doing? Because at the end of the day, because, man, I love you, man. I love you. I'm out here messed up. Can I borrow? And it's like, cool. What are you doing to get better? Because I'm the first nigga to tell you, and you can hate it, but I don't move a certain way. So if you're in a fucked up situation based on habit, nah, I'm not bailing you out. If you're in a fucked up situation because you're trying, I got you. You trying to get better? Cool, I got you. I promise you, I got you. Everybody didn't know that I got you. If you're in the same place, you're doing the same shit. If I'm on fucking Facebook and you taking more vacations and shit than me, nah, bro. I'm cool. And it's fucked up, but I see this shit all the time and people laugh, but I see this shit all the time. Like, you on vacation again? All right, cool. I ain't on vacation. I'm still working.
I think the hardest thing for me when it comes to it is that, like I told you earlier, and I'm gonna say it because I don't want to be repetitive about it, is that I always felt that I was always there for everybody. And like you said, it don't take much to show support. Turn it on, go to sleep. You can cut the volume all the way down. You ain't even got to listen to my voice not once.
I do it all the time.
That don't take much.
Nope.
But you won't do that. You'll make jokes
and watch Joe Budden and Kevin Samuels and everything else.
Yeah, but you give that all the energy, all the attention you want.
No,
like that's crazy to me. And like I said earlier, it was starting to mess with me mentally because I'm like, damn, what am I doing? I thought I had these friends. I thought I had these people, but apparently I don't. So listen, I honestly
so just to get back on course, all of that shit, just because like I said, I don't know what.
Oh, it's more we got to get into. It's more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know exactly, but just for the sake of parts who have helped me, men's mental health, I'm 6'4", and I know people laugh all the time because I say this shit. It's like a running joke. I'm 6'4", but I'm 6'4". I'm a big nigga, and people equate you being a certain height, certain stature, certain shit with you ain't supposed to need help, or you ain't supposed to be, whatever. Your stature, you ain't emotional, you shouldn't be, and that's cool. But I say it all the time for the people that I fuck with, literally like a handful of people, like, yo, I break down all the time. Like, again, mentally, I had a breakdown this week. I had to. You have to gather yourself when you start to feel them things forming on you and that shit going and people don't understand. Like, I could put it in my music. I could say it on the pod. I could say it in post. I could say it in clips and so on and so forth. And at this age, because I'm 37, you start to be like, yeah, I deal with this shit on my own because I know this gets a certain reaction or don't get a certain reaction. But in the sense of having a podcast and mental health, I break down all the time. And I sit back and ask, what the fuck is going on? Literally stop and be like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I can tell you what I'm not doing. I can tell you why I feel like I should be given a different set of cards. I can tell you these motherfuckers that's really out here doing the wildest shit, benefiting and looking and doing this. And I don't know their struggles. I don't know their real life. I don't know the chances they take and, shit like that, or what they really going through. But I can tell you on the surface, the shit that I should not be dealing with because I don't do the shit that they be doing. So when mentally you get affected by, yo, what the fuck? Like, damn, I could be out here doing this for this stress or this bullshit. It fucks with you. It fucks with you more because you like, yo, who the fuck do I talk to about this? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, something you just said has always bothered me.
Exactly.
Jerry. Like you just said, when you do something, you accomplish something, people always say, oh, you want to pat on the back for doing the right thing. Listen, understand that sometimes it's hard when you have that choice. Take the hard way and do it the right way, or you can take the easy way out and get the quick shit. So
every day,
if you can take a second to just say, yo, that's some good job. Congratulations. Like, do that. Why is it?
Well, no, you know what? It goes back to the little quote or the meme that went around earlier this year that was like, some people not bragging, like we really proud of ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where it go. Like I'm goal oriented. Like if I post what I'm doing, or if I post some shit, it could be so little, but mean everything to me because I know what I'm doing and I know where I'm going. I'm not shitting on you. I'm not flexing on you. I'm not doing it to throw in your face. Half the shit that I post for real, whether it
ain't got nothing to do with nobody else but me.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story, right? So like if you go down my Instagram and you see music equipment and shit, what people won't tell you is when I was working with major artists and I was coming home eating noodles and I was in the industry, 2006, like really in the industry, touring, tour bus, Maybachs and shit like this. This was the life, MySpace days. They can Google, they can look it up. Yacht parties and the rest of that. I was eating noodles, G. I was eating noodles. I was in $1 million studios on the road. I was coming back to Chicago 100s in a basement, no furniture and the rest of that shit, guns everywhere, moving work, doing some shit. And my studio was them little wired headphones on a little computer, and I had to rap in the bitch like this. Yeah, G, you know what I'm saying? I'm rapping like in the headphones, G. So I'm proud as fuck at the shit I got now, nigga. I'm patting myself on the back, looking how far I fucking came from that to now, and I get to do the music the way I want to do it. Some people they either don't understand it and you a weirdo, or they like, fuck him. Nigga, what? Fuck it. And that's why I developed the thick skin where I'm like, I don't tell nobody shit. I ain't worried about what you're doing. I ain't worried about you. Just don't hit me. Just don't hit me when you need me. Because when I need you, you ain't there. Just don't hit me. That's it. Whatever you doing, however you fighting your battles and your demons, if you get off that shit and you go buy you Jordans, that's you. That's you. That's your prerogative. I ain't do it. Don't get mad at me when I do what I do. I'll be all kind of weirdos and everything else. But from where I come from and the shit that is important to me, I'm posting it, nigga. It's not to shit on you or brag. It's me, nigga. It be $8 Funkos and people be mad. This nigga, it's $8. It's $8. But cool. It's gonna be worth more. And you're gonna be like, oh, I should have got them. Cool.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's some things that, like I said, I need to express. We didn't talked about talked about the fake support, the fake love, the fake friends, because it don't take much to subscribe, share, whatever. Talk to somebody about it. Um, Another thing that I've struggled with recently is kids. Now that I have a daughter, everything is different. Also,
That's
because
how it happens.
I'm in a blended family now, so it's not just I have a daughter. It's like, oh shit, guess what? Also got two sons, and I got another daughter here, and it's hard and difficult when I'm trying to help them and talk to them, but I got all this other shit on my shoulders that I've never really shook off. I've never really got rid of, because how can I sit there and tell them to be a certain way, to say, hey, you should be able to say whatever you want to say, come talk, be free, but I can't do that. I'm a 30-year-old man, and I felt like up
Well,
until recently I had to walk on pins and needles.
as far as men are concerned, fatherhood, it's a wild thing. And this is where the shit get difficult because um, as a father, to sit back and say that I'm not afraid to go out and not come home. I'm not afraid to get stopped by police. I'm not afraid of death or niggas running in the crib with guns and shit like that. It's a wild thing to say because it's a real thing. Like, you just don't know. You watch the news, you watch documentaries, you watch all of this shit, and you be like, damn, how did he get caught slipping? Or what the fuck was he doing? And the truth is, most times it's some low life with nothing to lose that sees you doing better, and they own it. So as a father, you learn real quick, like, you're Superman. And sometimes you really do got to tell your kids, like, no, there's no such thing as ghosts. It's nothing to be scared about. We're fine. And you learn that you will actually poke your fucking chest out and lay anybody down or do anything that needs to get done to make sure that they straight and they safe. But that same translation translated over to like your mental health or the emotions, it's like, I've been in a lot of situations where my children would never know we were poor. A lot of situations. And the reason they'll never know is because I was willing to do whatever the fuck it took to make sure that they didn't miss a fucking meal, diapers, or whatever. And in reality, they eat, you don't. You go to the room and you like, live to see another day. And you take them short victories, man. But as a man, like, this all you can do, whether they're your kids, blended family, or whatever. As a man, you learn real quick, which goes into the mental health shit, because when you down and you broken, you really can't be down and you broken. You can't be defeated. More so in the face of the house that you live in, and shit like that. It's hard to be defeated when you wearing that cape.
Yeah.
But
So last night I had a moment. So I don't know. You were watching. I think you watched last week. You said like, yeah,
yeah,
you watched last week's episode. So my girl was talking about her son, her 18-year-old son.
So listen, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Was that your girl?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I kind of got that, but I didn't really know because I never really seen her Facebook and shit like that. And she threw the question out there, and I started to respond, and I could tell by some of what you were saying, I was like, okay, what's going on?
Because I wanted to, if certain things came out, I wanted to come from her and not me.
Right.
So yeah, but yes,
okay,
that is.
Go ahead. Okay, so makes sense.
She talked about her son, and it's near. I believe it just passed the anniversary death of his father.
Okay.
Me, I'm new. Like I said, I'm a new parent. I'm new to this. It was hard for me when his father first passed, because me and him were just beginning our relationship, and so when his father passed, it was like that window right there of, okay, I know I give my condolences, but I know that there's also going to be a time where it's like he looks to me. He has questions for me.
Right.
He has. And it's like, I've never really had to console a child. Never.
Right.
I've consoled my homies over shit. I've consoled friends, but I've never had to console a child. And it broke me yesterday because when he was about to go to work, he got in the car and I could just see he was going through something. but I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to even.
How old is he?
18. His father passed when he was 17. He just turned 18 this year.
Okay.
So for me, it was a moment where it was like, okay, do I go over? And it's like, nah, I don't want to go over and just say something stupid. You know, I don't want to irritate him. I don't want to piss him off. You know, it's like, right. So for me, that was a real rock and a hard place for me. So, you know, I walked in the house and I'm just like, damn, like, what the fuck am I doing?
Listen, I didn't know what was going on. And I told you in the comments, or told her in the comments. In fact, the truth is, Sable probably speak to this more. But what I said was, your job in your place is never to replace his father. Right?
Yeah, not
and
at
it's
all.
also not to discredit what he's feeling or downplay what he's feeling.
Correct.
What you can't do, I know this for a fact, what you can't do is you can't force yourself on him. But you also, when she was talking about the therapy, I just feel like therapy a lot of the times gives people the impression that you're saying you give up or you're dismissing it and putting on somebody else. I don't know. He's 18. He's processed a lot in his life, but not enough, right? So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I just gotta be there. Like, you have to find a way to let somebody know. Because as a child, that's what I wanted. As an adult, that's what I want. All I want to know is, are you there if I need you? Now, when I feel like you passed me off, or you just don't care, you trying to tell me get over it, or you know, whatever, because his father's his hero, regardless of what. I'm gonna give you a true story, right? My father's never been in my life. I'm named after him. I look like him. Not a day passes, I don't think about that shit as a father or whatever. I can remember games and accolades that I did, music that I write, where my father is clearly right there. Your father's supposed to be your superhero. That's just the facts. Ain't nobody else replacing you on that. I've had captains in the military. I've had, you know, sports heroes, rap heroes, people I've idolized. Your father is supposed to be, and it's automatically, regardless of how you want to view him, your hero. That's just the facts. And that's part of what I'm saying about mental health. Your job, T, and her job as a mother is be there. Y'all know he hurt me.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's nothing that you can say to bring his father back. That's his hero, bro. There's nothing that you can say or do that's going to make that better. It's just not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? So to worry yourself, it's not wrong to think of solutions. It's not wrong. But I guarantee you, you know, whether he's going to work that day and he just ain't feeling it, he probably would have benefited more from being like, stay home. Let's chill. At most. Or maybe he needed to get out. But you don't know until you talk to him. You don't know until you ask him man to man, because he is a man now. He's a young male, while you're an adult, grown ass man that's been through some shit, lived through some shit. He don't know how deep you care for him. You shit, be honest, he might resent you a little bit at the moment, just because of your position in his life and his father's not there. You never know, but you don't know until you talk to him. And she not going to know until she sit down and have a real conversation with him too, and let him know that his mother's still there, but she can't be his father. She can't dismiss him. And if he needs the help, absolutely needs the help, then it comes to that, then great. But until then, I just wouldn't stress about it, especially if you know factually he hurt. Like, that's not a year thing.
Yeah, it takes a long process.
Yeah, that's a process, bro. He's not getting over that. That's a thing for him. You know what I'm saying? And it might fuel him to be a better man. But you can't, there's nothing that you can do to make him miss his father less. It's nothing. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't, and like you said, it wouldn't have mattered if you lost your father at 45. It wouldn't have mattered if he lost his father if he was 30 or 60. That's his father, G. At the end of the day, and I mean, and I'm talking as a man whose father just wasn't there. My father's still alive. Your father is your superhero. I know a lot of mothers that are superheroes, but your father is your superhero, bro. Like, your father is like, that's what you know what I mean? Fuck LeBron James, everything else. You kind of looking like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why DNA is like that. I don't know why it's inherently like that. But if his father was around all that time, present, he not getting over that. You're not gonna take his spot. Nobody's gonna take that spot. He might love you. He might care. He might be happy that you can show him things as another man as far as loving his mother, loving him, and loving his siblings. But you're not gonna put on a cape and just make him magically forget that pain that he's feeling, bro. Because
and I'm not trying to.
and
Like
that's
you said,
it. Like
yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
Like he's grieving, whatever he's doing. You just got to take it from a standpoint of somebody whose father is around and think about how you would feel if your father just was no longer here to talk to get them jewels, to get them gems, to influence you, or whatever the case is, and then be there, bro. Whatever that kid, I don't care if the dude slips into some shit that he probably wouldn't normally slip into. I hate to say it, but he's allowed those mistakes. He's allowed that grieving period. He's allowed that, you know, because as a 37-year-old man, I find myself thinking all the time, like, bro, I should have sold drugs. I should go rob a nigga. I could do this. I could do a million other things that I know is wrong for me. I know it ain't right, but your job is just to be there. That's it. Like, all you can do is be there. All she can do is be his mother. And I'm sure she's hurting in, you know, other ways too, because that's not some shit you just get over. You don't just have kids and, you know, raise kids and see that man's face in your kids and everything else and just get over it. It's just some shit that y'all have to sit down, maybe talk about. Maybe it's not the right time to talk about it, but in the mental health capacity, his mental health is definitely important right now. And you can't even relate to it because you ain't been there yet.
yeah. And that's one thing I definitely, like I said, I never ever, even when his dad was still here, never try to make it seem like, oh yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I'm here now, like, you know. And then when his father passing, yeah, I for sure like Say will say in the comments, I'm an ear, you know, like if he ever,
bro.
yeah, whenever he comes to me, I'm listening, you know, I'm there. But it's like I said, it was just hard seeing it because you want to, but you just don't know what to say. You don't know what to do.
You do, you know. I mean, listen, we've had conversations just in this podcast in the 47 minutes, 45 minutes that we've had it that allude to what we all as humans innately want. Be there. I may never get rich or famous or whatever, but I want to know who with me. That's it. I mean, at the end of the day, them impressions, and that's why I hate to call it that, but them impressions, who touched you, who's around, that's all the fuck we can do, bro. That's all we can lend is our time. And you know what they say, time is the one thing that we have and don't have. Like, that's it. Like, you have time. What you do with that time, how you use it and utilize it, and the same love that you want and the same attention and the shit that you want is what you give the people that you care about. So if it takes tomorrow, that man just wants somebody to throw baseballs with, you got to be there. Or just admit that you don't care. And that's what it boils down to. You know, I hate when people hit me and they're like, oh, I care. And, you know, I wanted to make this right. And I want to do this. And it's like, okay, well, all I ever wanted to do was throw baseballs. And when I asked you to throw baseballs, you didn't want to throw baseballs. You had an excuse or some shit that was more important to do than throw baseball. So like whatever church. Your time, yeah, like, listen, so whatever time you got and I want, if that's more important than you, then say that.
You know what? That's a perfect gateway. Fuck it. We here now, so let's do it. One thing that I put in this title was I said that I was going to get into how I felt about the church organization I was raised up in, and that set off all kind of flags, set off all kind of ears, set off all kind of people. And for me, like I told him, I wasn't getting on here to name drop certain people and all that. Like, no, my thing was I was going to talk about my experience. And for me, and it's crazy you just said that about, you know, throwing baseballs. I know that was your analogy, but crazy shit is that as a child, me growing up, that's also kind of one of the one things I wanted. Some people know, some people don't. Some people might get mad. Fuck it. It is what it is. Me growing up, my father I was not as close to my father as I wanted to. Me and my dad we're great now. And the only reason I can talk about this now is because me and him have sat down, hashed it out, and we're good. But my father, he missed a lot of sporting events. He missed a lot of things I wanted him there for. I would never forget, I was playing football in high school, and there was a recruiter. I was trying to go to Fresno State, and there was a recruiter I was talking to, and the man said, he said, I want your mom, I want your dad there. I wanted my dad there. Dad forgot because he was doing laundry.
Yeah, listen.
Hold on. Let me. Hold on.
No, I want to tell you before you feel perfect example, right?
Go ahead.
Out of all the years you've been alive, because I can relate to certain shit, but it's funny people dismiss it. But out of all of the years you've been alive, all the things you've done, you are never going to forget he was doing laundry.
I will never forget.
And people don't understand that. Like,
but see, here's the part. Shit. But here's the part that here's why I say mental health is important, because I was 17 then. I'm 30 now. That still sits with me. It still messes with me. And I still tell myself, now that I have kids, these are things I will make sure that I'm not doing. But the crazy thing is that when I tried to voice it, it was, oh, be quiet. Oh, you're older now. You need to let that go. Why can't I talk about it, get the help I need? And really though.
No, listen, I am really though. Let me tell you, as a father, I do this daily. So my obligation to provide and the things that I do on a day-to-day basis sometimes look and come off as I don't care, or nonchalantness, or priorities, right? So you'll see me a lot of the times, whether I'm streaming video games, doing a podcast, or whatever, I literally mentally take that moment, even in things that I want to do in life, I take that time and I be like, how's he going to remember this? And you ask for this. As a father, y'all heard me say it. The only thing that I've ever wanted to do was be a father. So sometimes I take a back seat to my own bullshit and I be like, this is what you asked for. Even in the midst of my own storms and my own struggles and stuff. Because like you, I can remember some good games that I had in football. I can remember basketball contracts, music. I can remember all the places that I was in life, true story, where my father wasn't there. And I'm a man that sits back and knowingly say, I don't really too much. And it goes for a lot of other people too, but specifically in the realm of my father, I can remember all the things that I've done in the back of my mind with all the hatred and all the animosity, where I was like, where's this nigga at?
Yeah, but and let me say this, because this, for me, that reaction about the laundry thing, because I'm trying to set the tone for you to show
Go
you.
ahead.
For me, that was a flashback moment. Why? Because it started out where because at first it was baseball, straight baseball. I mean, all the way from little league, and I mean that's all it was for me. That's all baseball. That was it. I'm gonna tell you right now, my mother, I love my mother to death. My mom was always there. My mom had spent last to make sure I was able to play, to give me this whatever I needed, the equipment. And it's crazy because Pops was missing baseball games for church. Things always came up with the church. When he got with his current wife, and I was in high school my senior year, he was football games. She made sure of it. Walter, come on, Terrence got a game. Okay, they were there. He was there senior year, but when he missed that phone call, that important phone call, what it did was it took me back to all those times he was not there, because I was never able to really talk about and deal with my frustration with him, because the moment I saw him, I forgot about when he wasn't there. And I was like, oh, damn, things are great. And then when he relapsed, bro. Exactly. And when he relapsed, it hurt. It did.
You know the saying, you don't get a second chance at a first impression?
Yeah.
It's the truth. You don't get it. Like, listen, man, it's embedded in you. And it sucks. Because even in relationships, people think like, oh, we're good now. We're good today and stuff like that. But they don't understand the triggers, right? Triggers. I know this is familiar to me. And I know last time this was familiar to me, what was actually going on and what ended up happening. And I can't really shake that. So like, you're not wrong. And, you know, I hate to say it and like be dismissive like that, but we grown now. And what it's saying is that shit came and went. They dropped the ball on us, G. They dropped the ball. I shared a meme today that said a lot of kids are growing up in, you know, dual family or both parent households now. It's up 70%. It used to be 30 or some shit like that. And it's important to say because I know the day that I'm gone away from my son, and I rarely ever mention my daughters because, you know, we got our own little situation going on and it sucks. But that's just the facts. Like, you know, as a father, you be a father, but you can only be a father so far as, you know, the mother allows you sometimes, or the society, or whatever you want to deem it, whatever, right? But I know by choice, the things that I have to, you know, control, that I have control over, the day that I sit back and I choose some other shit or another lifestyle over my son, knowingly, willingly, he ain't gonna forget that.
Not at all. And like I said, I want to be clear for you and everybody else in the comments.
Miss a game, he not gonna forget that.
But hold on, just let me be clear. Me and my dad are great. Me and my dad.
You said that. We know.
Yeah, the only reason I brought that story up is because that is what I'm trying to get people to understand is when things happen, if you don't deal with it then, it haunts you. And you can have, like you said, a trigger. So
have you seen the Denzel clip that I shared on Facebook?
No, I don't think I've seen it yet. I'll go back and watch it though.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll play through, but go ahead. I'm listening.
I'll go back. But, you know, it's like things were bad. I felt the type of way. But I should have addressed it, you know, when things were good. But like you said, when things are going good, you never want to talk about it. It's good. So, you know, hey, we just going to forget about everything else. So when things got bad again, it triggered. So, you know, that's one thing about mental health. I feel that we need more, especially in our young men, our children, our boys, sons growing up, is that let them know it's okay to talk. If you are upset with me about something I've done, come talk to me. It's okay. Like nothing is too big, whereas like you should feel like you can't talk to me. And I feel like a lot of times that is never put out there, especially in our community, in the Black community. As a man, it's never okay to talk about things. Keep that shit to yourself.
Hold on. I got this. Hold on. So this is the
pain is passed down from father to son. We'll talk about African American men and how this movie speaks to them.
This is about fences.
Okay.
Pain is passed down from father to son and son to son. A lot of pain in Troy's life is a result of the pain and damage from his father that he then visits on his son. We have to, as Black men, be mindful of that. Sometimes it's unfair, and sometimes we take it out on those we love. And I'm guilty of that frustration that we all have. But we have a responsibility and a duty to be fathers, not to just make babies, but to be real fathers. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or your daughter. So be a man.
Yeah. That was this week. And that's the facts. Like I could repeat the cycle. You could repeat the cycle. But the one thing that you do know is what stood out the most for you out of all the memories is doing laundry the day that you needed them. And you just don't know how important it is, right? So as history goes, this is what I'm saying, right? So what I'm saying is like, your father in hindsight, he may not even remember that day and what he was going through.
Probably don't.
You don't know what he was going through. And that's just the reality of it. He may have been in a bad spot mentally, emotionally, traumatically. You don't know. You don't know that day. That day. Listen to what I'm saying. That day, not lifetime. I'm not giving excuses.
That specific day. I hate that night at 6:30. At 6:30.
What you remember is he just wasn't there on a day that you thought was important. He could have been breaking. He could have been upset with his father. Seeing you play may have brought up demons, being there or whatever, or maybe just not knowing how to love and be a father in general. I don't know the history of it. What I'm saying is, what I do know is maybe the day comes after all that I've done that my daughters and my son think that I just threw them off to the wolves. And in reality, I'm fucked up. I tell people that really, like I say it all the time. I'm fucked up. And there's just days that I just need to cope and be alone. Sometimes I don't love you the same. Sometimes I really just don't have the words or the, consolation. Or sometimes my son just may want to build Lego blocks. And I'm like, do you know what the fuck that I'm doing over here? If I don't do this, you know what I'm saying? And it sucks that that's the cycle, but truthfully, he may not remember that day, man. And this is what I'm saying. Like, he may not recall and recollect that particular day unless something happened. You ever see like crime shows and shit when people like, how you not remember what went on that day? And it's like, nigga, it just was a regular day and wasn't important to me. Like, I ain't recount what I ate or whatever. I think it was gonna be an important day, but some important shit happened, and you asking me in this deposition on some shit that just I didn't process that the same way. Now, in hindsight, we kill him. I had a conversation, just to be fair, with my father. I wrote him a letter when I joined the military, and I said, I understand. I learned a lot from you by watching what not to do. And I thought it was going to go a different way, but my father could never deny it. Like, despite the relationship or lack of relationship we had, I made it an issue to go out and I spoke my truth. Like, I don't got no animosity towards you. I know how women get. I know how life gets. I know shit. I don't hold it against you. Now, after that, I'm not responsible to speak my piece no more or make peace with you. But I said my piece. And then that's what I'm saying. Like, my son comes in here one day and he just is like, yo, he's so excited because he got a new toy. He got something. He may never forgive me for, hey, going somewhere. And you just don't know. But the only thing you can really do is what I've been saying this whole time is be there. Be there. That's all you can do. That's it. Just don't pass that same trauma down. And sometimes you might do it unwillingly or unknowingly. You just never know. But your demons, like, for real, if we having this, we got to just be 100. And that's my point, is we just got to be 100 because I'm sure in your distaste, you probably view your father as have you seen Concrete Cowboys? You probably view your father as a pastor, somebody that's giving hope to all these people and giving his time and his effort to people and be like, yo, I just needed you there. And in reality, he probably was like, fan.
No, actually, I don't view him. I used to. Like I said, me and my dad had conversations. I used to. Like, right now, I'm my dad's ride. Like, if my dad, I'm there. I used to view, I know where you're going. I used to view him like that.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I said, you know what? I understand. Because like you said, it's passed down. So My dad only did what he saw from his dad. It wasn't intentionally. It wasn't like he was maliciously trying, but it's just what he, so I was like, you know what? I get it. But my issue and where I messed, and I'm not even going to say where I messed up. My issue got redirected. It went from being angry at my dad to being angry with the church. I'm gonna keep it real.
Understood.
That's where it went because I felt
where
like
you with religion. Where are you with religion? Like,
where am I?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on religion?
Here's my thoughts.
Keep it a buck.
I'm gonna keep it real. Here's my thoughts. At the end of the day, I'm apostolic. It's the Bible, cover to cover. Yeah, we know what it says. But I just feel like men's interpretation of it that was put on me is not directly what it says. So for me, it's kind of like I battle sometimes because I can go. Honestly, I go to church depending on who preaching.
Jerry.
I'm gonna keep it real. I go to church depending on who preaching only because I can't listen to every preacher. That's facts. I told my uncle today, I talked to my uncle. My uncle's a preacher, or he's a pastor down in Alabama. And I told him, I said, it's certain people's churches I go to only because the people that are there, I have not seen them in a long time. So for me, it's like a hangout. Mm-hmm. I know some people are going to get mad at that. I mean, that's just where I am. Because for me, it's like, and I got into it with a dude today. What the Bible says and what you interpreted and what you say is not necessarily, it's not the same. And it's hard for me to sit there in church when I've seen and I know a lot on the outside of it. Yeah. So I mean, it's like you get mad at me for it. You could hate me. You could feel some type of way, but you can't tell me how to feel. Because the same way you can feel like that's the truth, that's the word. I could feel like, that just don't sound right.
Right.
And so that's why I say a religion. Sometimes I'm conflicted. Like certain churches I can go to, certain preachers I can hear, certain people I don't even waste my time.
Right.
Like I said, for me, I'll go to that church only if I know like some folks from out of town I ain't seen in a couple years. My cousins is there because I know like I'm gonna go see my people. But I mean that's just where I'm at. I know the word. I know how to live right.
It's
I
a
know what I
vibe. It's a
believe.
feeling for you.
Exactly, But at the end of the day,
well, that's why I call it. That's why I call it spirituality, right? So, without going too deep, I say all the time, as far as I'm concerned, because I put a lot of God and stuff like that, and devils and demons and stuff into things that I speak on. I speak on spirituality, and then I ain't gonna get into all the reasons, but I know what I feel.
Yeah.
I know what I feel, and I also know, like you said, what goes on within the church, within that whole structure that's not it. I don't care how you cut it, it's just not it, right? So I know the feeling. And the one thing that I always tell people, if that gets you up every day, if that keeps you pushing, I'm not talking you down from that. So if God
believe what you want.
Believe what you want, move how you want. If that's what makes you get to the next point, if that's what keeps your faith, if that keeps your strength, if that keeps your mental straight, if you think you can rely on the Bible, or whatever stories, whatever feeling that you get, because I mean, let's be honest, we've all been to church and felt like the preacher or the pastor or whatever was talking directly to you, was speaking into your life.
Most definitely.
And you'd be like, yo, I was supposed to be here today, goddamn hours. Oh my God, I needed that. You know what I'm saying? So you go to that mode and it's like, maybe you were. I don't think it's much different from any other testimony, which is why I say being transparent on the podcast and these conversations that we have to happen and exist, because I would be doing everybody an injustice if I sat back and I was like, yo, I'm good all the time. I'm not.
Exactly.
I pull strength from a lot of different places throughout the day. Sometimes I pull strength from pain. Sometimes a lot of what goes into my motivation is absolutely frustration of being like, I'm not finna let these motherfuckers see me fail. It happens. And sometimes it's, you know what, I'm in a good place. I'm gonna keep this going. And this is, you know what, let's get up good. So I mean, whatever you draw from, whether that's spirituality, religion, or whatever, and it keeps you going. If you think giving 10% of your check and your earnings is good to the church, so be it. I'm not here to talk you down from that shit. I can't. If listen, I can't. You know what I'm saying? So, and listen, that's a whole other conversation.
It is.
In terms of like,
quick, I just want to say, you posted something today that really hit me. It said, every day can't be a good day, but it's a blessed day.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah. And for me, I felt that because it's like, I wake up and when people at work see me, oh, T, you always happy. Oh, yeah. You think, but sometimes I get in that truck and I'm just like, damn, I'm not feeling it today. I can't do it. It's like, but like you said, I got to pull it from somewhere. Man, why? Because at the end of the day,
I'm telling you flat out, testimonial. There is probably two or three at most people that have access to me on a day-to-day basis. That's just facts. That's every day of my life. I'm not talking about Facebook impressions or, a like or some shit like that. If people viewed my life, they would assume it's something that it's not. I don't club. I don't go out. You've never seen me out. I don't have pictures with anybody. I don't go out. I don't hang out. I don't do videos. I don't do none of that. My strength and the things that I do on a day-to-day basis come from like the 2 or 3 people that surround me. Everybody else, if you're bad for my peace, I just don't fuck with you. And it eats at me sometimes because I'm like, yo, I really do look at like I alluded to it earlier. I really do look at like the family structure and the things that go on. And I'd be like, yo, I wish I had that. But when I wake up and I'm like, yo, this is fucked up, or this is not this, this is that, I know I'm blessed to be alive. I know I'm blessed to see another day. I know that it's not necessarily a good day. And if you talk to me, I probably hit you with the, shit, nigga. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you'd be like, oh, this nigga's negative. And I'd be like, nah, I'm just honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Like, yo, listen, today ain't that day. I'm not really feeling it. And I'm not going to bullshit you and act like it's peaches and cream. But when you see me, like, even on this podcast, I'm smiling. People will still walk away from this entire conversation and be like, yo, buddy, good. Because it's just as me. I had a woman tell me like years and years ago in Colorado, bro. She was sitting in a internet cafe. I was in there and I was like stressed the fuck out. And she looked and she cracked up laughing. She was like a little white chick or some shit like that. And I was like, the fuck? And she was just like, yo, you know, you're so big and you look so fucking mean all the time. She's like, I seen you around, you look so mean all the time, but you're a teddy bear. And I'm laughing because I'm like, yeah, I'm the coolest dude you know, but I'm sure as a defense mechanism and everything else, I probably on a natural day walk around like, don't talk to me. When I'm in Walmart, I have this thing where I'm like, yo, don't fucking talk to me. When I'm out, don't talk to me. And I'm like naturally that way because you don't know what I'm going through. Now, if you know me and I'm open, yeah, I'm smiling, I'm cool. But I could be brewing 1,000,001 different things in it because I'm built to understand that if I don't have me, ain't nobody else got me, dog. If I drop the ball after all of these years, who got me? If I sat back and I was like, yo, you know, I'm fucked up. Who got me? And people don't really understand this shit because, you know, some people think being around God, no, just being around ain't enough. Like, yeah, I see you and I know who you are. That don't mean you got me though. So it's like those things, they absolutely play a role in a lot of that shit, man. Like smiling and shit like that don't mean nothing. It's a blessed day though. Like I know what could be. I had an epiphany. Yeah, I had an epiphany today when I was running. Do you know that my run playlist is mostly dead rappers? And it sounds crazy that I'm saying that, but I'm like, it stopped me dead in my run, and I was like, yo, DMX dead, Pop Smoke dead, Nipsey Hussle dead, and I can go through that list, and I'm like, you just don't know the day. So hell yeah, it's blessed. Like I don't have to be here. They didn't know it was their last day. Pac, they didn't know they was their last day. But when you start to see shit like that, you like, yeah, I'm down, but it ain't over yet. And you just gotta keep it moving, man. It sucks, but you know, you gotta keep it moving. It's a blessed day. It's not a good day, but it's a blessed day. Like I'm blessed. I'm still here. Still get to see my son. Still get to hug my son. Still get to do this podcast. Still get to talk my shit. And for what it's worth, the reason why I told you to talk your shit is because this shit on the internet forever, dog.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And that's why I said I'm willing to talk about all of that. And, you know, like I said, my phone today, I didn't talk to some folks and they was like, well, what you going to say? You know, what you going to say about the church? You know, and like I said, it's not about blowing up the organization. It ain't about putting folks on blast. What it's about is that I got kids now. Would I love to bring my kids up in church? Oh, yeah, most definitely. Of course.
Right.
I want my kids to believe in something. And then when they get of age and they can, you know, think for themselves, then they do that. But it's like at the same time, I'm not finna take them just anywhere just because that's what I'm used to, especially if I don't agree with things. Especially. Right. And I feel like our community, that happens a lot. It's just kind of like
black people.
Yeah, it's like we gonna just go to church because you know, but it's like you can't just go somewhere just because it's the norm. Like especially when you get religious, you got to go somewhere where you are comfortable. And this is a little off topic, but this actually goes with something. Markel was on. We talked about the whole LGBTQ thing, and I told him something because you know he talked about his experience with church, and like I told him, I said, listen. If you are somewhere and you know that they don't agree with your lifestyle, just remember this. You don't have to be there. I get it might hurt. I get, you know, it's painful, but understand you can get up and walk away at any point and go somewhere that welcomes you and makes you feel comfortable. And that's what a lot of people forget, not only with religion, but also with family and friends. You do not have to keep these people in your life.
So listen, but the thing is, shouldn't have to, especially in a church. This is why shit is conflicting, right? So listen, and I understand that's on LBGT, but let's talk about realistically the support that goes into the community. If we at church every week religiously and we're a family and shit like that, like the last thing I'm doing is getting up and walking out because of my lifestyle preference while you're preaching the gospel and everybody around his testimony in their life. Like you said, I watched that. This is why I walked away from the church. I watched that go to church shit. And then you come back and y'all just doing whatever the fuck y'all want to and wilding, right?
Exactly.
Listen, but here's the thing though. So church gets renovations and everything else. I hate to say it like this, but somebody on your status said it in regards to your father. So, I mean, it's probably a touchy subject, but it's like, pastor got a Benz. We in the hood hurting. Fam, I ain't eating.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, as an example, I've always felt like, especially in the church, and this is why it's hard to go and take people seriously. I said about the Lil Nas X shit. Like, you can't be serious about giving or being outraged or upset or at somebody for choosing a life. Some people say they don't even choose it, right? So let's say you're really genetically DNA born homosexual, right? What the does that have to do with me to make me not like you? Because the same people would turn around and act as though we are lesser people, or we should be given the same rights as white people and stuff like that, and then argue that there's an issue with somebody being gay. No, that's not how this works. You didn't choose to be. You can have pride in it all you want to. You didn't choose to be black. You didn't choose to be rich. You didn't choose to be broke. You didn't choose to be none of that. You happen to be born into a family that either had money, did not have money, lived in a certain neighborhood, believed in certain things or whatever. But to sit back and have this distaste for somebody and their lifestyle choices is a wild thing to me, fam. Whatever you do, long as you ain't impeding on me and fucking with me, I do not care.
And I think that's the one thing, that's another issue I have when it comes to religion, because you got folks that will sit there and say, oh, just where you can only be held accountable for yourself. If that's the case, why are y'all so quick to judge everybody else? Just shut up and live for you. If that's all it's about, if it's all about you getting in, shut up, man. So listen, and don't worry about that.
If this life is a test, man, and this is the one thing I think probably keeps me going the most. I always say I've made it. I can remember all the hard times I had and the shit that I went through, and I ain't never faltered or snake nobody for shit at my lowest. So I've always said that I've made it this far, and I have the people around me and the blessings that I have because I am who you see. Like, I am who I am. I ain't never shitting on nobody. I ain't never talking nobody down. I just feel like if more people moved sincerely and worried about, the community and the well-being of others instead of their next come up, shit will be smooth. But to sit back and act like, hey, listen, as a straight man worried about a gay dude, you wild. As a black man or a white man worried about, the other dude or something doing some shit and you causing more problems than it would have caused or whatever, it's wild. So it's like that selfishness and that selfish shit that goes into people's thought process and they thinking is ultimately why we can't get the fuck along in no aspect of life. Like, it's always some shit every day. And it sucks. But
it does.
How is it helping you though? Like, it ain't helping shit.
And trust me, that's a conversation we're gonna have on another show, another topic. But this episode, I thank you so much for helping me, because this was about, like I said, I wanted you on here because I wanted to make sure my thoughts did not get scrambled and lost.
Air them shits out, man. Tell everybody what you need to tell them.
I didn't say it throughout the show, however. I didn't say my problems. I didn't say the things I like, the things I dislike. I didn't say where my discontent has came in. And I will say this, like I said earlier, for the people that support me, that follow the show, that share the show, that talk about it, who actually give me feedback, give me advice, I love and appreciate you. I do, because like I said, I was in a spot where I did not feel like this was something I wanted to do anymore. Just because at a point in time, I started looking at the views. I started looking like, well, dang, I feel like I should have more because I got more people that's always here. And so for me, I already know what you're going to say, but I get it.
You don't know what I'm going to say.
It's a lot. There's a lot of ways you can go with that. But I mean, all I'm gonna say is that I truly appreciate everybody who does it, because for me, this is what helps me go. I love doing this. I love talking. I love having conversations, especially challenging ones, especially ones that make people uncomfortable. Why? Because I'm an open guy. It's like, come on, man. Let's talk about it.
But it's only uncomfortable if they feel some kind of way. You know, them subliminal posts, and you be like, yo, the shoe fit. What I was gonna say is like I've always said musically, right? Because at my height and back when BET and MTV was a thing, if you told me, oh nigga, I don't know you ain't on BET, I would look at you and laugh because I could turn on BET and I could see Lean With It, Rock With It, and Bow Wow. This is a real conversation I had. That's just why I can recollect Bow Wow and the rest of them niggas, right? And I was like, that means nothing to me if I'm on BET, if that's what they putting on BET, bro. What does that have to do with my talent level? That's not, that's not my type of lane. That's not my music. I'm not expecting you to rock with me when I'm sitting back and, like if you compare me to Future, I'm unsuccessful, bro. If you compare me, you see what I'm saying? Like if you compare me to that, I'm unsuccessful. Absolutely. It's the same as, comparing a woman. Oh, you ain't as popular as this OnlyFans chick. Okay. But you know what I got to do to get there. Those kind of hits don't fuck with me. Looking at views and shit like that, I would much rather one person watch and I get my shit off than a million people, fake people that sitting back and they doing the clickbait bullshit. Now, sometimes, not gonna lie, sometimes I be like, fuck them. They don't give a fuck about you anyway. They ain't listening to you anyway. They don't care. They're not gonna feed you. They're not gonna feed your kids when it's going. Get this money, nigga. By any means, get this money. Take your motherfucking shirt off. Flex, get these little groupie females out here fucking with you, rap about some lean and popping guns and shit. So, these niggas will listen to it. And I think that way a lot of times, like, shit, why not? Get on this podcast, go wild. I probably had a few moments where I was probably in a bad space or some shit like that mentally or whatever. And I got on my own podcast and was like, you know what? Let me just, you know what I'm saying? Let me fuck out it. You know what I'm saying? But you get in that mode, man. It just is what it is. But consistency, though. At the end of the day, you really just got to figure out what it is that you want to leave into this world, what impression you want to leave in this world, and be cool with that. That's it.
No, well, like I said, the show for me, this is my outlet. This is my baby. Just like people got their music, people got their books. This show, this is how I get mine off. This is where I put all my energy, all my words. And this episode for me was able to say some things out loud, and now I can move on past it. I can let it. I can really walk away because, like I said, I didn't had private conversations with individuals. I didn't had those moments. I didn't had moments where me and my boys sat there and argued about some shit, but they no longer my boys. It is what it is. Now I can say it out loud. I'm good. Fuck it. Whatever. This is me cleansing. This is me detoxing. I'm straight now. It is what I'm cool. Yeah. I ain't even got to worry about it no more.
And even if you miss some shit, guess what? You got another episode, another topic. It's gonna be some shit in the news or something, and you get it on. But most of the time they say what's understood don't need to be said. What I will say is anybody that ain't, I said it before, and anybody no longer around be forever squared. And I know that line will probably go over people's head. That's the end of one of my songs that's coming out. Anybody no longer around be forever squared. And the root of that shit, what they say, if you ain't around, you square. Be there, be square. If you square, you ain't around, right? So I don't care, man. Like, I'm not looking to fix shit. You know what I'm saying? Life's a mechanic.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks as empaths and people that actually care. A lot of situations where I carried in that I don't no longer care no more. You sit back, you deal with it, and you move the fuck on, bro. And next week, if some shit happened, then on it again.
Yeah.
Then on it again.
No, I didn't say it. I'm cool. Like I told my girl today, because she's like, what you want from all this? And I said, listen, I'm gonna get on, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, I'm gonna get it off my chest. And that's it. I said, people can put it in their music, I can put it on my show. I was like, I said, and then I told her, I said,
listen, I told you the other day on Sunday's episode, the other alternative, man, if it helps legacy wise, therapy wise, or whatever, just do an audiobook, bro. Same equipment you got right there. Just record it. Just don't do it live. Record it chapter by chapter, track by track. There's no set length. There's no set nothing. You can literally do a chapter on your childhood and then turn around and do adult life. And you put it out on iTunes and everything else. It's an audiobook and whatever. So, I mean, you're never limited to the way in the creativity in these things in this climate. So, I mean, if it ain't enough, you still need further therapy. You got people and people around you talk to, and you got ways to get the shit out. But
yeah, Well, man, I truly listen. I appreciate it. This for me. This was it. Like I said, I feel 10 times better. It's on my chest. At this point, it's how I feel. And like you said, it's out there. It's on the internet.
It's out there.
I don't feel nothing I said here is, I don't feel nothing I said. If they don't like it, hey, it is what it is. But I mean, I've always been tired of people trying to tell me how to feel. That's why I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this show. I'm gonna say how I feel, and that's what it is. At the end of the day, if people got a feeling about it, they want to call me. We ain't got nothing to talk about. We ain't got to talk about it. Watch the show. Well, exactly what I said is exactly what I meant. That's where we are. Listen, everybody, do me a favor. Y'all go ahead, share the video. You never know who might need to hear something. Whether
hey, Auntie. My
hey,
Santana voice.
Listen, at the end of the day, you never know who might be going through something, whether it be
absolutely
family, a friend, somebody in church. So never ever feel afraid to talk about anything with anybody, especially men. We know we told or hold it in, keep it to yourself. You can get through it. Sometimes you gotta let it out. Don't be afraid to do that. It's all right. Don't let nobody make you feel as if you gotta hold that in, because what you don't want to do, like the clip D played earlier, is you don't want to put that off on your children, like Denzel said. So thank you all for tuning in. You know where to find me next Sunday, 4th of July, so I'm gonna probably be busy. But thank you again. Y'all tune in. Look up Game 7 Podcast. Follow D, follow Detour, Santana, Sable. They both in the comments. You can find them, find the links to their pages. Follow him, man. His podcast talk about a lot of things. Not just, toxicity, but also sports, government,
big toxic.
government, anything. So, and like I said, if when it comes to the show, there's something you want to hear about on the show, hit me, inbox me, let me know. You got any advice? Let me know. Tell somebody else about it. Subscribe on YouTube. That's what you can do. Go on YouTube, look up Dr. T Moore. Hit the subscribe button to the Detox page. Only take you about 2 seconds. That's how we support each other. That's what it's about, right? I love y'all. Thank y'all.